Well, hello everyone. Here we are again on our regular Thursday get together. Now, a couple things I'd like to mention. I have ordered a video card for my computer because I guess it's gone haywire or whatever and it's not handling the high definition video camera. Today I've gone back to my old camera because I know the sound is better with it. So as soon as I get that card in and get it installed on the computer, we'll go back to doing webinars. But I finally narrowed it down to that's what it is I've had the computer 4 years before high definition got real big, so it may just be an old video card, may not have them. Anyway, going to change the video card out and we'll be able to go back to webinar. For now, this is the best that we can do. I can record a video for you and we'll go on from there. So there's a whole lot of things I want to talk about today. Most of you, not all of you, have sent me what you did in February. The rest of you that are part of this, if you would, please email me your traffic. Daily, weekly, monthly. Your traffic. Now, if you're having trouble finding that, and you don't know where to find it, that means that you have not been watching the other videos for the other group on Wealthy Affiliate. Because a lot of the basic stuff that we covered early on, or even some of it that we didn't cover, are in those videos. So if you really want to move forward a little bit faster, I would suggest that you go back and review those videos. Now over there, they're at the place where we were a couple of weeks ago. We're just now starting to talk about traffic, about getting traffic. We're going to start that this next week. And so they are a good bit behind you. But I just got through doing a video over there about Google Analytics and Google Search Console and how to use it and how to set it up and how to submit your sitemap. So if you get a chance and you want to know about that, go look at the other videos. But anyway, send me your traffic, how much money you made, whether it's from your website or not. Now, I know some of you have some issues that you're working through, and that's okay. That's a whole part of it. You're not trying to come this is a 1-year plan. You've got to work on stuff. You got to get going. You got to get rolling, and it takes a while to do it. It's not going to be 2 months later, I've got 1,000 people coming in. I'm getting 10 sign-ups to my list every day, and I'm making, $1,000 a month. It ain't going to happen. Nope. It's a snowball. And most of you this last month have really done a good job of building that snowball. It's getting real close to the point where it just takes off and goes downhill, and you just got to hang on for the ride. And each month it builds up more and more and more and more. You get more and more traffic, more and more sales. It just keeps going. So that's some of the things that you have to look forward to. Now, the main thing that I would like you all to look at and to really think about, if you go watch that video over there about Google Analytics, if you don't know how, it will show you which page most of the people are going to on your site. It show you which one's getting the most traffic. And the first thing I want you to do, I want you to go to those pages and look at those pages again. One, to make sure that there is some valuable content on that page for other people, something that they could use, something that would help them. And then make sure that you have a very clear, set out, definite, they know this is a call to action for you to do something, which is going to lead to a purchase from you. Now, when you do that, you do not want to make it where they, excuse me, I got to turn my phone off. Let me take care of that right now. Turn off phone. Don't want you ringing. I'm still here. I haven't gone away. Okay, there we go. I'm sure none of y'all have ever had that happen. Your phone ring when you didn't want it to. Yep. But anyway, make sure that there's a definite way to monetize. And the thing that you don't want to do, what I was going to say was, you don't want to make it where it's like 3 or 4 clicks for them to get to be in a place to purchase whatever it is that you're offering. Whether it's your ebook or a free ebook, whatever it is. The more clicks they have to make to get there, the less likely it is going to be that they get there. But they're going to abandon that process along the way. And there is a whole study of how to keep from doing that. It's so important not to do that. There's people that, get paid how to look at other people's sites and tell them where they might be causing that to happen. I mean, it's like a field to help people get through that payment process. It's called, a card abandonment. I mean, cart abandonment. When they're going to get to the cart, and they either jump out before they get there, or they jump out when they get there. So if you look at those call to actions, click the links and see how many times it takes you to get there. And if you're up around 4 or 5 clicks, different pages, I go to this page and this page and this page for them to get to Amazon or to get to here, you're really going to cut down on yourself. You'll have some dedicated people that make it all the way through, but you're going to really cut down on yourself. So look at the pages that are the busiest. Don't worry about the other ones right now. Look at the pages that are the busiest and go in and make sure that there is some value in your content. That is what Google looks at to rank you. All these other things like keywords and everything else helps. But the big thing is, does Google see your content as being valuable? Does Google see your content is answering the question when they type your keywords in? Does it answer the question for them? That's what they're looking at. Content is king. Well, that is all well and good, and that must be true for that one page to be where you're getting most of your visits. But you want to make sure, get this, you want to make sure that it is a very clear do this at the end to monetize it. Doesn't have to be in your face, a banner this big. It can just be a couple of lines. If you would like to do this, click here. It can be that, but it has to be very definite on there and clear. And most time, if I'm going to use just plain text with a click here, more information, whatever, I will put a border around it, put it in the box. Put it in a border because it catches people's eyes. Might even put a little different background on it, which is very easy to do in Canva. And then you can paste that Canva in and it says click here. They think you're clicking the words click here, but what they're doing is clicking that whole picture. You put a link to that picture, and if they click anywhere on that picture, which would be a box with that text in it, off they go where you want them to. So make sure that you have done that. Now then, most of you have been very good about going on social media, going on Facebook, leaving comments, going and leaving comments on blogs, getting those backlinks going, and really it's how good you've been, how hard you've been working at. That shows the results in the reports I've been getting. I get a report and I look and it hasn't gone up very much, and I go in and look and there wasn't a whole lot done. Look at others and some of them gone up from next to nothing to 1,000 in a week. Or you go and look, man, there's been a whole lot of comments every day. So it does work. It does work. And that's one of the things you're going to have to keep in mind. What we're talking about, what you're learning, does work. It's not we're trying to prove something. We're not trying to test something. This is proven that it does work over and over. Now, let me think of some of the questions that have come up. And let's cover some of them. Like one of the questions was, man, it's hard to find blogs in my niche to make comments on that will let me leave a URL. It's hard to find. Well, all you got to do is use Google search. And not only look at blogs, look at forums. There's a lot of forums in the niches. And most of the forums, you have to join them to be able to post. And the more you post, the more regular you are. If you go in there every day, which you're supposed to be doing anyway, you get known, and the more traffic you get from them. And I know of people, there's a forum that's in the internet marketing niche. It's one of the biggest ones out there. And it is called Warrior Forum. And I know people that make a living on that one forum. And a living to me is $4,000 or $5,000 a month, $50,000, $60,000 a year on that one forum. It's huge forum. And now it's kind of hard to get your notes on there, but there are a whole lot of other forums out there. Okay, and you can put in, like, if you want to find a blog about eating healthy, you put blog eating healthy, and then put do follow. Do follow means that link follows you. And there's a whole lot, or just blogs and what your niche that you're looking for. There's a whole lot of different ways to do it. There's even websites that have kind of like where they check your stats. SEM Rush, when we used it, and it checks your stats. Well, there's other websites that you can go to that will help you find blogs in your niche and give you a big old long list of them. So it just takes a little bit of thinking out of the box and using good old Google to help you do it. So look for those. They are out there. And how many of them do you need? You know, if you found 20 good ones and then rotated through them, you know, however many you do a day, you would have plenty. Because you want to not have 100 where somebody sees you now and they don't see you for a month or 2 months. You know, every 2 or 3 days you're in there posting on their blog. Well, you know, you'd be surprised how, just like you notice who's posting on your blog. Those owners of those blogs that are already making money, that are good blogs, they get to know you. They recognize you. And the first thing you know, and I do it, and used to do it when I was blogging more than I am now, I used to follow those links to see what was there. And if somebody had been commenting on my blog for a while, without even asking them, I would go and see one of their posts that I liked, and I'd put a link on my site and speak about it. You know, that may happen. It happens more regularly than what you think it does. So it is important that you find those blogs, you show up regularly, you build that relationship with the people that's on the blog, and continue to do it. We're down in the crunch part. Doing it every day. Every day, the same old thing. Gotta do it every day. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's that consistency and persistence. The more consistent and the more persistent you are, the more that is going to happen. We're in that, building that snowball up, building that snowball up, building that snowball up. And for a lot of people, you know, over the years, I've helped a whole lot of people do this. Usually one at a time, not as much as a group like it is now, though I did run one coaching program that cost you $999 to get into it, and it's around for about 3 years until I got tired of doing it. But anyway, most people, this is the place where they start to fall out. This is the place that's going to decide whether you make it or break it. Right now, in this month and next month, are what's going to decide whether you're here a year from now, or you're still complaining because you can't get your business to grow. Being totally upfront and honest with you. That's what it is. If you can get in that flow of doing this consistently and persistently, you've got the game won. Every day. Every day. And if you miss a day, make it up. Every day. I'm going to do it 5 days a week, do it 5 days a week. I'm going to do it 7 days a week, do it 7 days a week. Oh, well, I'm doing it 5 days a week and I missed this day and I'll do it tomorrow. That is fine. But when that week's over, you've done it 5 days a week because that's what you're committed to. This, more than anything else, being that persistent, doing those blog posts, commenting on other people's things, commenting on other people's social media, so they comment on your social media. And that this whole thing that we have got set up with all our members commenting on each other and helping each other and how it helps people is kind of falling apart. Because we got 4 or 5 that's doing it, and the rest of us are, well, I'm going to catch up. I'm going to catch up. If you don't, at this point, if you don't catch up at this point, you're not going to. Seen it too many times. You get disappointed with yourself, or you think you're too far behind, and you don't follow through with it. When all you had to do was just follow through with it and do the work. So now's the time. Now's the time that's going to decide, not what we did before, this doing it every day. It's what's going to decide it. And one of the key things is, one of the things that Craig W. mentioned, is keeping your focus. I am the world's worst. I guarantee you, I am the world's worst about losing my focus. I'll be reading an email and it will send me to a link, and I'm going, okay, I'm going to work through my emails and get rid of all the emails I need to delete. I hit an email and I read it, and I'm off on a link, and the first thing you know, that link takes me someplace else, and then 20 minutes later, I'm coming back to finish deleting the emails. Well, I've been gone for 20 minutes looking at stuff, and if I don't watch myself very closely, I will do that. Several times a day, I am on my keyboard, I am working on the screen, and I look at it and I ask myself this question: will this make me money? What I'm doing right now, will it make me money? And if the answer is no, I go back to what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I've got this little guy right here. Yep, my little timer. I've got it right here on the desk. Yeah, I could put one on the computer. I have one on the computer. This one is more in your face. I can look right down at it without changing. You have to move something on my computer. Next 30 minutes, I am going to delete emails. And for the next 30 minutes, that's what I do. If there's a email with a link in it that I want to go to, I just save it. I don't delete it. I just leave it there. And then a certain part of time in my day, I have it set apart where I can go back and follow all this stuff that I want to look at. But I keep my focus. If you don't, Craig W. said that you need to lock myself in the room. Yeah, that's a real good idea. But when you got kids, they're going to find you. They'll be coming through the windows, dropping through the ceiling. Something. Them kids are going to find you. And if they don't find you, and they get real quiet, you better worry. They're doing something that they don't want you to know about. So that's not really an option. But this is. If I have my timer set and I have to go into the room or for whatever, I just pause it for a minute. It's at 18 minutes. I know I got 12 minutes left. I go do what I need to, come back, sit back down, and I got another 12 minutes. This one thing here, that one thing right there has made me more money than anything I own. Yep. Because it makes me focus on what I need to do today during that 4-hour period or that 8-hour period or whatever it is you have. It makes me focus on that. And I know I'm running out of time, and I'll get busy and I'll get things done. Now, with that understood, keeping your focus and being able to do that with distractions around you, because you're never going to get where there's not distractions, even if you lock yourself in the room. The internet will distract you. So you're not going to be able to get away from distractions. Now, here's one of the big keys in all of this. At the end of your day, you need to ask yourself this question: what did I do today that is going to make me money? Ask yourself that question. Now, the general answer is, the only time that's going to make you money is when you have done something to get visitors to your site, where they're going to click on something to make you money. Where you're getting visitors to your site. And you have your site ready to sell them something. That's what we're doing. We're selling something. Information, ebooks, whatever it is, we're selling something. People try to avoid that word, but we are. So the only thing that makes you money is that getting traffic to your site that is prepared for them. So every day when you look at it, what did I do today? Oh, I did this to get traffic, or I did this to make it easier for people to purchase from me. That is the key, because we can get so busy doing other stuff. Well, I was looking at this plug-in, I answered emails, I went on Wealthy Affiliated, and I talked for a while, and I did this, and I did my 4 hours, and I went on the blog. What did you do to get traffic to your site? Because, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out. Beautiful site. I've seen a lot of them on Wealth Affiliate lately. I mean, some really outstanding, award-winning sites. Beautiful sites. Great offer to pop up in the right place. The subscribe box in the right place, and nothing happening. Why? 2 people a day, 3 people a day? Yeah, that's it. The number one thing that you need to learn how to do to be successful on the internet, to make money on the internet, is not to get traffic. It's not. A lot of people tell you that for what it is. It's not. It's to get targeted traffic. Targeted traffic means people that are interested in what you have to offer. Targeted traffic. Because if you have a website about hamburgers and all you attract to it are vegans, have a lot of traffic. Get 10,000 people a day to my website. I'm doing great. Haven't sold nothing. Well, who's 10,000 people coming to your site about hamburgers and barbecuing outside? A bunch of vegans. Okay, that's not targeted traffic. You know, because the question you have to ask yourself, which would I rather have? Would I rather have 1,000 people that don't like hamburgers, or don't even know what a hamburger is, or don't even care about hamburgers, or don't eat meat, come to my site, try and say I have 1,000 visitors a day? Or would I like to have 50 people that are really big hamburger eaters, and they want to know more about hamburgers, and they want to know how to cook hamburgers? Which would I rather have? Targeted traffic. And that is the secret of you making a full-time income part-time. Learning how to get targeted traffic. And that's part of what you're doing on Facebook. Now then, as I've gone back through Facebook, I notice a lot of people are posting, and a lot of people are posting your blogs, like over in Traffic Exchange, that group that I have over there. A lot of people are posting your blog on that. Well, you know, I don't get a whole lot of traffic from there. No, you may not. That's not what it was set up for, to be a great traffic source. What it was set up for was you to get a good backlink on Facebook, so that when Google looks, every blog post that you have posted is in there, and it's permanent, and it's going to stay there. And that's a social media backlink, which Google says, oh, well, if people on social media are looking at this, must be good information. And it helps you rank. That's what that Traffic Exchange blog is for, is to get that good, solid backlink on social media. But if you look at your timeline, have you been every couple of days, every 3 days, if you're, every third post, have you been posting one of your blog posts? Well, I haven't been writing that many. Well, what about the ones you wrote before that you never posted before? Why can't you go in and post them now, one at a time? Why can't you start at the beginning and post the first blog post you posted? Some people may not be a real good idea. The first one real good. Let's go with the second one. Unless the first one was real good. Why can't you post it today? And then, and tomorrow, if I do 2 other posts, or in 3 days from now, doing a post a day, you post another one. Until you work your way through your blog posts. And as you're working your way through them, you're still making blog posts, so you may never catch up. It's okay. Why can't you be doing that? 1, it gets you some backlinks. 2, it shows people that you're doing something. And 3, it's going to get you some traffic. So let's think about this. Do little numbers here. I like numbers. I like the fact on the internet that things are pretty predictable once you learn what you're doing. They are. It may not seem that way, but they are. So every time I post on Facebook, I get 10 visits over the next 2 weeks. I know that. If I post a blog now, I get 10 visits over the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks are up, I post another blog, get another 10 visits. What about if I posted one today and did 2 other posts during the day? Tomorrow I post another one of my blogs. Well, that's 10, 10, that's 20. And the next day I post another one of my blogs. Well, that's 10 and 10 and 10, that's 30. And by the end of the week, I have 70 visitors who are interested, because the only ones going to come are the ones that are interested in what I have posted, just by posting old blog posts. Well, you know, I only have 20 blog posts, and I've already posted them one a day for every 3 days. You know, well, that's 60 days. We haven't been doing those 60 days, so you couldn't have done it. But, you know, let's say that we're at the point that you do. What am I going to do? Oh, my goodness. Well, you're going to keep writing blog posts. So you have one every now and then. But you're going to go back to the beginning one and repost it. Been 60 days. Been 30 days. It's been, you know, 90 days since it was on there. Repost it. Why? You got 10 before. Now you're going to get 10 more. And by doing that, being that persistent, doing that, social media, making them posts, getting your blog post out there, and being consistent with it. That's where the traffic comes. And again, if you watched in both of our groups on Skype, people talking about, oh, I'm getting all this traffic, and you look and you know they are the ones that have been busy doing what is on that daily work. Because it works. It works. So, you know, I am interested in seeing y'all starting to move forward this month because I know it's going to happen. I'm interested in seeing some of you getting sign-ups to your list. Some of you still haven't got your list straightened out. If you haven't got your list straightened out, if you don't have the default list, which is a series of letters about traffic wave, that all you have to do is put some numbers in. If you don't have that, then you need to set it up. In traffic wave, it shows you how to set up the default. And all you do is go to the default and go into letters and go over to retrieve campaigns and do retrieve campaigns. And there's going to be a question in there. Do you want to insert our letters into your campaign? You're going to tell them yes. And that's all you have to do. Well, I've already got a few letters in there. Well, forget about them because it's going to wipe them out. It's pretty simple to do. Got that campaign set up. The 52 letters I sent out, I don't remember who it was, Sue Ann or somebody, said that Traffic Wave Support said they couldn't find me and couldn't find those letters. You had my name spelled wrong. You had an L in there instead of a P. Yeah, they ain't gonna find me like that. Yeah, so if you go in there and use my name, they will find me. But that was the problem. You had my name spelled wrong. And if you still can't get those letters, contact me through an email. Now, I noticed a couple of you on Wealthy Affiliate have tried to contact me through private messages for things that would require me to put a link in there. And I ain't doing that. I get watched real close, and that's a no-no on Wealthy Affiliate. What's no-no? I'm gonna abide by it. So if you want something that the answer is going to require a link, make sure you email me. And for this group, it's always better if you email me through WAGogetters instead of leaving me a private message in Wealthy Affiliate. Because the ones at WAGogetters, even though I may have not looked at them the last couple of days, I do look at them more than I do at the PM messages in WAGogetters. Okay, so you know we're rocking along. It's starting to build for you. That's the way it's supposed to be, slowly but surely. You know, this week you get 50, next week you get 100, and it slowly builds up. And then at the end of the year, you're going, wow, where did all these people come from? That's the process, and you're going through it, and it's working for you. Keep doing it. Don't give up. This is the time that's going to decide whether you're going to make it or not. And every one of you has already proven to me, every one of you have proven to me that you have the potential to do this. It's not because you're lacking something, not because you don't have the talents or the abilities or anything else to do this. It is not that at all. Most of it is you doubting yourself. Yeah. So you just need to keep going. Keep going. That's all there is to it. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Now, one other thing I'll mention that was brought up, just popped back in my mind. Somebody had mentioned, well, what's this going on about the online ad network? I don't know anything about that. What is that? Where did that come from? Anything else? That's not something that I'm saying, okay, everybody needs to do this. I'm not. Somebody asked me, I have a little bit of money and I want to use a paid traffic source. What would be the best paid traffic source? And that is the best one that I've used for years. One of my reliable go-tos. And that's what I recommend to people that are just getting started. 20 bucks a month, owned by the same people who own Traffic Wave, works the same way. It has that same matrix and everything else. It works the same way. But the cool thing about it is some of you have already found out there's over 30 different ads you can run every month. And those ads only run for a month. At the end of the month, you have to go in and just a click of a button, but you have to renew them. But the big thing, and the reason I recommend that one, when you get ready and you finally get started with paid ads because you have a little bit of money, you want to do it, that's the one I'm going to recommend to you because you can advertise in other niches just by changing the industry category on it. And it's not going to put it just in the internet marketing niche. Most places on the internet that you advertise, it's just going to be for the internet marketing niche. This takes you into other places. This takes you into other niches. I had very, very wonderful success with a website I had before I sold it about weight loss, and I would run my ads in there and I would get people to it. So that's one of the nice things about the online ad network. And then it can very quickly pay for itself. Once we get Traffic Wave paying for itself, that one will almost fall into place. But that's where the online ad network came from. It is not something special that needs to be done. It's not something I'm encouraging everybody to do at this point. Everybody in a different financial place, and you'll move into that paid ad because they'll pay for themselves. The other thing I'll tell you, you're not going to get 10,000 hits off of there. You won't. With all 30 ads, you'll probably get 1,000. But they're very targeted. There are people that saw your ad, what your ad mentions, that come to your website, and what's called your conversion, how many come and actually purchase something, is much higher than anything else. And all you keep in mind is, if you're paying $20 a month for this paid advertising or any paid advertising you paid for, all it has to do is make you $20 back, and it's worth it. Yeah, but I run that ad and I didn't make $10,000. You ran that ad and you made, $30 back. So if I gave you a $20 bill, how many times, if you gave me a $20 bill, how many times would you be willing to give it to me if every time you handed me a 20, I gave you 30? How long would you keep doing that? You hand me 20, I hand you 30. Yeah. Sometimes it hands you 500. Sometimes it hands you 20. Sometimes it hands you 30. If it's paying for itself, it's okay. It's okay. And this more than pays for itself. So anyway, that's where the online ad network came from. And somebody may not even heard about it, but it's been talked about in the two groups. And that's what it is. It's just one of the best ones to start with. When you first start running paid ad, one is it's a good place to learn how to do ads because they have a ton of good videos, just like they do at Traffic Wave, that tell you how to do it. Very good place to learn how to do that. So anyway, there we are, folks. A lot to look forward to. Man, your sites are going up. They're getting better. You're doing the work. Some of you, the ones that are making a difference. It's time to buckle down. Do I want this? Okay, I need to stick to that schedule. I need to do the social media posts. I need to do the comments. I need to read my emails. I need to plan my posts. I need to write my posts. I need to do that. That's all it is. Time to buckle down and get used to that routine. And it is, again, this is the place. This is the rocky place where you're either going to get past it, and a year from now, you'll be making $1,000 a month. A whole lot more if I have anything to say about it. and or you're going to fall out. You're going to get so discouraged because you're not doing the work. You're going to either to say, I'm going to quit because I can't do the work, or you're going to blame it on something, find something to blame it on, but you're going to fall out. That's true. I want to say each of you do very well with this. You know, some of you, man, I've been watching him. I'm just, back here cheering you on. You're doing good, guys. You're doing good. Now it's time to see if you can keep it up. Okay? Hopefully by next webinar, I'll have the video card in the computer. We'll be able to do a regular webinar. As I've watched this one, I've noticed we haven't had all the flashing on top, and some people said it froze and everything by going back to the older camera. I've been able to get away from that. Hopefully you can hear it good enough. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or leave it in the link group. The link group I pretty well look at on, go through all of them. The other group that y'all talk to, sometimes I get in there and go through them. Sometimes I turn on Skype and there's 300 of them in there that I haven't looked at, and I just kind of go, okay, skip all these. So sometimes you get me, sometimes you don't. But remember, I'm here to I'll answer questions. You ask me questions all day long, I'll answer your questions all day long. I know I'm behind on a couple of them on the emails, but we just went through the emails today and got all the links out and got them sorted and everything else done. And now the only thing that's left in there is just a couple of questions. And so we're good to go. So don't forget to ask, because I'm here to help you. And it is time for things to start changing. That snowball's getting a little bit bigger. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. And you can do this. I have confidence in you. Now you just have confidence in yourself. And if you're behind, I know you can get caught up. I know you can do it. The people out in here were good people. Good work ethics. Time to make it happen. And if, like Tanya, if something come up in her life and she just had to say, I just can't do this right now. If that happens, fine, no hard feelings. You can go over to Wealthy Affiliates and follow along with everybody else. You'll eventually get everything that's, well, not everything, but most of the stuff that's over here, you'll get it over there. Yeah, you will. And, we started this group as trailblazers. Have you noticed how much of trailblazers that you have become? We were talking about list building here a month before they did it over there. And most of the things that we've been talking about a month later, they're talking about it over there. So y'all are actually getting, like list building and traffic and stuff like that first, and then it ends up being over on Wealthy Affiliate. So y'all are in a pretty good place. I think it's interesting that, we start building lists, and they also are starting to build a list, which reinforces to you how important that is. The things that we're doing. So it's a lot of fun. I'm honestly, it's a lot of work. It takes me probably 5 hours a day just to do the Wealthy Affiliate stuff. That I could actually be doing things that would make me a whole lot more money, because if you notice, I don't really get paid for this. I do it because I want to and because I like to. But I am enjoying it. I am having fun. I like talking to you people. Y'all are good people. I do. I enjoy talking to you. Especially this group. Well, I hope I'm not bothering you. You ain't bothering me. I like talking to you. So don't be afraid to ask me a question. Don't think you're going to be taking too much of my time. Don't think you're going to be imposing. This is us doing this together. I am going to lead you, drag you, push you, whatever it takes, until you just jump off. I'm going to jump off the wagon because I'm tired of it, and get you there. Yep. We're going that way. Going that way. 1 year. That's all we're asking. Build that snowball so you can push it off the hill. So anyway, great day today. Looking forward to talking to you more. Looking forward to see where this takes us. And we will do this again next week. Talk to you later. Have a great